Hello everyone, I am back after 2 to 3 weeks off. I'm finally back to do more videos. Sorry, my throat's a bit off at the moment. Anyway, we got a big ranking to do, which is not 31 and 31 because it's already been the 31st. So I'm just gonna call it Monsters vs. Machines. The movies that we have are RoboCop, Aliens, Predator, Terminator, if I said Alien, The Matrix, Total Recall, Blade Runner, and that's about it. Yeah. Anyway, let's get straight into my ranking. Starting off at last place is RoboCop 3. I gave this a 1 out of 5 with 10%. Okay, this movie for me was just bad and awful. I binge watched all the RoboCop movies in one day, and this movie was just trash. It was terrible and just some terrible action for me. I think the acting was okay, the story was shit like the movie. The movie overall, it's not good. I didn't enjoy my time with it. It's not a movie I'll definitely recommend. I'll probably, hopefully not have to watch this movie again, because it was just boring, and yeah. Number 30 is AVP Alien vs. Predator Requiem. I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars with 40%. This movie was surprisingly not at the bottom of the list for me. Anyway, this movie was just shit for me, and I didn't enjoy my time with this movie. I wish it could have been a bit better than what it was for me. It does try and push it up. Yeah, the action was fine. It's not that great. The acting was okay. The story was, yeah. The story was a story. It's not that big. Not that amazing for me, unfortunately. But the movie overall does try. Number 29 for me is Alien Resurrection. Now, I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars with a 40%. Okay, Alien Resurrection was a bad movie for me. I think it did have a good chance on pushing it up for me, but it was just bad. And the movie was bad. It was boring as well for me, unfortunately, but it does try on pushing it up. The characters, I would say they were okay. I give it a 2 out of 5 with 40%. So, yeah, it's not, like, bad, but it is bad. Yeah. It was okay. Well, not really okay. The characters were okay. The story was not that great. Yeah, that's basically all the movie's going for. The action does try. Doesn't really intrigue me. Yeah. Number 28 is The Predator 2018, which I gave a 2 out of 5 stars with a 46%. Okay, The Predator 2018 was a bad movie for me. I think it was just boring, and yet the story was just bad for me, and I just did not like the story to the film. But overall, it was a bad movie, didn't enjoy it. I liked The Predator, but that's about it. The action was okay, the characters were okay, the acting was good, that's about it. But the movie was terrible. Well, not terrible, it was just bad, and yeah, I wish it could have pushed it up for me a wee bit to oomph it, to make it good. Doesn't happen. It does try. The movie was not that good. Well, I gotta live with that. Hopefully, when I rewatch it, it does turn to be good. My number 27 is Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. I give it a 2.5 out of 5 stars with a 50%. Terminator, oh my god, Terminator 3 for me was just meh for me. I think this movie doesn't really have anything going for it in my opinion. I just think it tries its best on being good. But for me, it was just a meh movie. I think the acting was at least decent for me, but like I said, the movie really has nothing going for it. It does try its best. The acting was at least decent for me. The movie was not that great. It does try its best, but that's really it for me. It does try on pushing the limit on being good. Like I said, doesn't work with me. Number 26 is Terminator Genesis. I gave it a 2.5 with a 50%. Terminator Genesis was a meh movie for me. Now, I know this movie people don't like, but for me, I just think it's in the middle for me. I think it's just meh movie to watch. But I think the action was at least decent and fun to watch. The acting was at least good enough to the extent. And yeah, that's about it. The movie's action was good enough. The acting was good enough. The story could have put a bit more work to it. And could have worked a bit better on screen for me. That's about it. It was at least an enjoyable meh movie that I can say. Yeah, it's fine. Well, it's not really fine, it's meh. But I'll probably skip it. And number 25 for me, surprisingly high, is with a 2.5 out of 5 stars and a 54% Alien 3. Well, never knew that Alien 3 would be high up for me. I thought it was going to be last. But no, this movie was just meh for me. I think the action in this movie was good, and the story to this movie could have been a bit better. But overall, a meh movie, or down the road movie, if you whatever you like to call it, does try and pushing it, and me liking it doesn't really work. It tries to capture the feeling of aliens and Alien. For me, Alien 3, not that good. And I would skip it if you have seen it, or if you haven't seen it. But if you have seen it, hopefully you liked it. Yeah, Alien 3, it's a movie. 24, The Matrix Revolutions. I give it a 2.5 out of 5 stars with a 56%. The Matrix Revolutions was an okay movie for me. Keanu Reeves does a good job in this role as Neo, and same with the rest of the cast. I liked the story to this movie, but the pacing in this movie was just not it for me. I could feel the runtime of this movie, which I don't like. The Matrix Revolutions, which is my least favourite Matrix movie, if you didn't know, it really does try. It really does try. It doesn't work for me. But it really, well, I mean, it's an okay movie. The movie I was actually kind of looking forward to because is this sequel, the third one? I forgot what it is, but yeah, the original was really good. I'm not. I forgot what the sequel was. Anyway, The Matrix Revolutions. It does try for me, but yeah. 23 is RoboCop 2, and with a 2.5 out of 5 stars with a 58%. RoboCop 2 for me was an okay movie. I did enjoy this movie to a degree, and this movie is disappointing because the OG was very good. And I know this movie is just okay. I wished it could have been better, but overall, it was an okay movie. The pacing in this movie was a bit slow in some points. The acting was a bit clunky in some points of the movie. The characters, most of them were okay, most of them were, yeah, they were fine, but they were not the best characters ever. Yeah, that's it. The movie could have worked a bit better. The movie was a movie. Yeah. 22, is Predator 2, which I gave a 3 out of 5 stars with a 60%. I did move it up. Predator 2 was a good movie for me. I enjoyed this movie to a degree. I liked the story to this movie. I think it fitted and good, and yeah, just a good movie that could have been a bit better. But I did enjoy my time with this movie. It was still a fine film, but it could have got pushed up a bit more for me. Yeah, it was still a fine enough movie that I enjoyed personally. But yeah, it was still fine. Predator 2, not the best Predator movie. Uh, but yeah, that's it for my Predator 2. 21. The Matrix Reloaded. I gave a 3 out of 5 stars with a 65%. The Matrix Reloaded was a good movie for me. I was entertained in this movie, and yeah, the acting in this movie was good, and I liked the story to this movie. I think it worked good in this movie for me personally. The movie's, uh, the movie was fine. I liked Keanu Reeves in this movie. Lawrence Fishburne was good. Uh, the female lead, I forgot her name was. She was good. Yeah, good movie, but it's not like one of the best films I've ever watched. Still an enjoyable film that I enjoyed personally. Yeah, that's that's about it for me for The Matrix Reloaded. It was still a fine film that I enjoyed. Yeah, that's all what I gotta say about this movie. 20. Surprise! It's AVP Alien vs Predator, which I gave a 3 out of 5 stars and a 65%. Okay, Alien vs Predator is a good movie. Now, it's nothing special, but it is a good movie for me. I think the story told in this movie was good. The action in this movie was good in this movie, and yeah, overall a good movie. But it does have its issues for me, like the pacing could have worked a bit better. Some of the characters were a bit boring for me. That's about it. The movie was still an enjoyable movie, but it does have its problems for me, unfortunately. But like I said, it was still an enjoyable movie that I enjoyed. That's all what I gotta say. It was fine, enjoyable. Alien was fine. Predator was fine. Yeah. I mean, these movies, but yeah, they were okay. Yeah, that's what I gotta say. 19 is a Total Recall 2012. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars with a 68%. Total Recall 2012 was a good movie. Very close of being a very was a good movie. Being close of being a very good movie for me. I like the action in this movie. The action for me. I love the cast in this movie. I think Colin Farrell was just a great main character for me. And yeah, just a good movie that I did enjoy. It's not one of the best movies I've ever watched in my entire life. It was fun, entertaining. Like Kate Beckinsale was good. Jessica Biel was good. It was a good cast. The pacing could have been a bit better. Some of the story could have been a bit fixed up a wee bit. Yeah, overall, still a good movie that I did enjoy. 18, people are gonna hate me for this. It's the original Total Recall, which I gave a 3.5 out of 5 stars with a 70%, so it is still a good score. Okay, Total Recall was a very good movie for me. I know it could be low for some people, or high, but for me it belongs here. I did enjoy this movie. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger did a great job in this movie, and the action was good. And yeah, overall, a very good movie for me. That I did enjoy. It was a fun movie that I think was I think there was good job performances in this movie. Uh, yeah, it was still a good movie that I did enjoy. Uh, yeah, if I'm not, there you go. Yeah, overall, a good movie. Yeah. Or was it the other way? My bad. There you go. And next up, The Matrix Resurrection. Oh, wait, or should it be this way? Hold up. That's basically the start. I don't know. The Matrix Resurrections, which I gave a 3.5 stars out of 5 and a 70%. Okay, The Matrix Resurrections was a very good movie. Now, I used to think this movie was just okay, well, last year. But as soon as I rewatched this movie, I really think this movie was good. For me, nothing amazing, but it was a fun ride and a fun movie that I did enjoy. Yeah, it was fun, entertaining. It was a good time, good movie. Check it out if you have not seen it. And yeah. Next up, God, people are gonna hate me for this. It's the original Blade Runner. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars with a 73%. Oh God, I'm going to get hated on. I know Blade Runner 1982 is low on this list. I'm sorry. I really enjoyed this movie for me. I had a blast. I think Harrison Ford did a fantastic job in this movie with his acting. And yeah, overall, a very good movie. It did bore me a wee bit through the movie, unfortunately. But it was still a good movie. I still really enjoyed my time with it. It does have its issues, like the pacing, and some of the characters, and some of the story. But it was still a fun time and a fun ride that I did enjoy my time with it. So there is good and bad things. Oh God, 15. God, this is how you know that I'm not born, that I'm not an adult. 15 is RoboCop, the original, which I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars with a 74%. I think RoboCop was a blast. This was the first time watching this movie, and for me, I had a blast. I think the characters in this movie were good, the action was good, and this movie and the story was really good as well. And yeah, overall, a very good movie that I did enjoy. I think the main character who played RoboCop was really good. Yeah, that, that's, that's about it for me, unfortunately. It was still a very good movie. It was still very good. I'm gonna leave it like that, because I didn't want to get any more hate on, like what I did for Blade Runner. God damn it, I'm gonna get so much hate. Anyway, great movie. Well, it's not great, it's very good. Oh god, even more. 14. Predators. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars with a 75%. Predators, for me, was nearing a great movie. For me, I really enjoyed my time with this movie. I like the characters in this movie. But for me, I don't think this movie has anything special about it. In this movie. And yeah, overall, a very good movie that I had a blast with. It was still a fine, entertaining movie that I enjoyed. Nothing special or amazing, unfortunately, for me personally. But it was still a fun movie that I did enjoy. I liked the cast of this movie. The cast did a fantastic job. Yeah, that. Hold up. That's about it for me. It was still a fun ride, fun movie. So you got your good and bad. Yeah. God, I've been away for a while. 13. RoboCop 2014. Oh, God. People are going to put... Why you put RoboCop 2014 above RoboCop 1982, 1987? My bad. Anyway, RoboCop, I give it 3.5 out of 5 stars with a 75%. And it's not because it's the new version. Okay, RoboCop 2014 was a very good movie for me. I had a blast with this movie, and I think the whole cast did a great job. Same with the rest of the crew. In this movie, I think the action in this movie was good, and the story was good. It's surprisingly better than the OG, but only by 1%. 1%. So it is very close to me. I can change any time. It's only by 1%. So you got a little... You could pop it down, maybe. Anyway, RoboCop 2014, I still really enjoy the hell out of this movie. It's still really a fun movie. If you haven't seen it, check this movie out. It is a blast. Joel Kinnaman kills it, Gary Oldman kills it, Michael Keaton kills it. and Samuel L. Jackson kills it. I was just reading the cast on the poster. Anyway, number 12, Prometheus. I gave a 3.5 out of 5 stars with a 78%. Prometheus was a very good movie for me. I had a blast with this movie. I think the cast is great. Same with the rest of the crew. I think the visuals looked stunning in this movie, and yeah, the action was really good. And yeah, just a fun movie that I did enjoy. And yeah, if you haven't seen this movie, I would recommend it. It is a part of the Alien franchise. So, if you didn't know that, there you go. And yeah, it's still a fun, entertaining movie that I did enjoy. It still has its problems for me, unfortunately, but it was a really great, really good movie, a very good movie, sorry, that I really did enjoy. So you got it there. Number 11 is Terminator Salvation. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars with an 80%. Terminator Salvation was a great movie for me. I had a blast. I loved the cast in this movie, and I loved Christian Bale in this movie. I think the story to this movie was very good, and the movie's action was just great for me. And yeah, a fun movie that I did enjoy. It does have its problems for me, unfortunately. I liked Christian Bale and Sam Worthington. They were both great. But this movie does have its issues for me, unfortunately. I think some of the plot could have been a bit worked on a bit better. Some of the characters were a bit, yeah, they were a bit too silly for me, or a bit too cheesy, whatever you like to say. Uh, yeah, it was still good characters, good movie, and yeah. Now on to the top 10. Ooh. Number 10, Prey. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars with an 83%. I'm surprised that Prey is this high up on this list, because I love this movie for me. This movie was just great for me, and I had a blast, and I'm looking forward to maybe another one, fingers crossed. But yeah, overall, this movie was great. I think the action was fantastic, the characters were not fantastic, but great. The story was really good, and I liked how on Disney Plus, like, you got two versions of it, like, you got it on the language that they spoke, and I forgot what language it was, and then you got English. I watched both versions, both were great. Yeah. Prey, if you haven't seen it, I would 100% recommend this movie. It's only like an hour and 40 minutes, so it is a bit short, but it's such a great movie that I did enjoy my time with, and yeah, if you haven't seen it, like I said, check this movie out. Number 9, Terminator Dark Fate. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars with an 85%. I know I'm probably going to get hate on this. Terminator Dark Fate is a great movie for me. I had a blast with this movie. I know this movie gets mixed thoughts, but I love this movie. I know it has its problems, I do agree with that. But overall, a great movie that I really did enjoy, and the action was great in this movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger does a great job. Linda Hamilton does a great job. The rest of the cast do a great job as well. And yeah, overall, a good movie, good action, good story. I like what they did with the movie. Yeah, it was fine. It was good. Well, it was great, actually. Uh, yeah, if you don't like that, I'm sorry, I guess. I mean, it's my opinion, so you already have your own opinion. Yeah, but overall, Terminator Dark Fate, like I said, a great movie. Number 8, probably gonna get a lot of hate for this. Alien, the original. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars with an 86%. Okay, Alien for me was a great movie. I really enjoyed my time with this movie. The action in this movie was great, and the cast and crew was great. And yeah, this movie was a fun time that I did enjoy. And yeah, check this movie out if you have not seen it. It is a blast. It is a fun time. It is a movie you must watch if you love film. If you haven't, what are you doing? Yeah, Alien, great movie. Nearly awesome, but yeah, only 4% from being an awesome movie. But yeah, Alien, really, really good. So I might be in number 8, but there is number, where is it? Yeah, number 6 to number 1. Like, they're all awesome films. Sorry, number 5 to 1. Anyway, number 7, Alien Covenant. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars with an 88%. God, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that pick as well. Okay, I know I put Alien Covenant above Alien the OG. I'm sorry, I just had the most fun with this movie, and I mean, they both have the same score of, never mind. They have 2% difference. Yeah. Anyway, but they can change. They can change. But I had a great time with this movie. The movie was fun. The movie was action packed. I liked the characters. The acting was great. But yeah, overall, great movie. I did enjoy it. I know people will hate on that pick. I'm sorry, but it's my opinion. Everyone has your own opinions. Number 6, the original Predator. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars with an 88%. Predator, for me, was a great movie. I love the cast and the crew. I think they all did a fantastic job in this movie. I love the action in this movie. It looked awesome and great to watch. And yeah, overall, a great movie. Nearing an awesome movie, so that's good. If it's nearing an awesome movie, that's primo. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, great movie. Great movie. I loved Arnold Schwarzenegger in this movie. He does a great job. Rest of the cast do great. Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. I love the movie, but yeah, unfortunately not in the top 5, but it's not really close. And number 5 for me. Oh god, do I have to? Number 5 for me is Aliens. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars with 95%. Oh god. Okay, for me, Aliens is an awesome movie, but I don't have the love like other people. But I still really enjoy this movie. For me, oh god, for me. I like the action in this movie. It looked great, and the cast and crew did a great job as well. But yeah, the movie was fun, entertaining, awesome movie, but it doesn't. It's not number 1. I know some people hate that. Not even nearing number 1. I mean, hold up. It's nearing number 3, so if you get that. And yeah, Aliens. It's still an awesome movie. Just leave it like that. Number 4 is The Matrix, the original. So it's a 4 out of 5 stars. So 4.5 out of 5 stars with 95%. The Matrix is an awesome movie for me. I really enjoy my time with this movie. I think that the cast and crew did a fantastic job in this movie. The movie's premise was really good, and how it deals with it in this movie, it did really well. And yeah, I love the cast: Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne, the rest of the cast did great. Yeah, if you haven't seen The Matrix, check that movie out. It is a blast, and I loved my time with that movie. And yeah, it was just a fun, entertaining movie. Did enjoy. It was, yeah, it's a great movie, an awesome movie. If you have not seen it, check it out. Number 3, The Terminator. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars with 95%. The Terminator is a fantastic movie. I was lucky enough to see this movie in the theatres, and it was a blast, and way better in the theatres. I think the cast and crew did a fantastic job with this movie, and yeah, just a blast. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger does a great job. I loved this movie. It's so entertaining. Like, I have so much entertainment with this movie. Like, it's not even funny. And it's nearing number 1, but it doesn't make it that far. But it's still so good. It's really good. I'm a massive fan of the Terminator franchise. If you don't know, yeah, Terminator, great movie. If you have not seen it, well, I've already said that. What are you doing? Check it out. Number 2, Blade Runner 2049. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars with 98%. Okay, Blade Runner 2049 is a fantastic movie. I love this movie. I think the whole cast knocked it out of the park. Same with the crew of this movie. I think the visuals are phenomenal in this movie, and Denis Villeneuve, who directed this movie, did a fantastic job directing this movie. I know I put, what place did I put it? I know I put the original at number 16, and I put the sequel, or remake, whatever you like to call it, at number 2. My bad. My pick. I like the sequel better. I'm sorry. Overall, really great movie. Really enjoyed my time with Blade Runner 2049. It is a blast. One of the best movies. Well, not one of the best, but it's nearing 100% for me. It's not clawed onto the yet, but it's still a great movie. But my favourite movie out of this bunch is Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars with a 100%. Okay, Terminator 2 is a phenomenal movie, and it's one of my favourite action movies of all time. Well, it could be my favourite. It's just action. This movie is just action-packed, and to be honest, it is a movie I've watched at least 15 to 20 times. It's just phenomenal, and it's 100% deserving to be my number 1 spot. It was a fantastic movie. I loved the hell out of this movie. It was a blast. It was a fun movie. And yeah, that's what I gotta say. Thank you for watching this video. I have a little announcement to do tomorrow with my more videos. And yeah, podcast down below. Videos on the screen right there. Thank you for watching. Take care. Oh yeah. Yeah. Please subscribe. Be a massive help. Thanks for watching. Take care. Peace.